Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a while since I've done a rip here of baseball cards, but we're going to go ahead and get back into the groove here. As always, I do have my cards stacked in potential as far as what's in each set and what packs I'm more likely to pull big cards from based off of what I've already pulled out of the box and stuff. So as always, we got the lowest potential and the highest potential, but as if you've watched my videos, if you watched anybody open up baseball cards, if you open up baseball cards yourselves, you know that sometimes the best cards come out of the 50-cent packs, and sometimes the best cards come out of the $5 packs. You just really never know. So we're going to go ahead and get started. As always, pretty much the same sets that I have here. So we're going to go ahead and get started here, starting with 91 Studio. If you've followed my streams or if you've watched or opened up packs of studio cards, you know that the main appeal is the unique photos, not the value of the cards here. So it's always interesting to see what we can find here. Start off with Barry Larkin, Jose Oquendo, Steve Finley, Dave Valley, Lou Whitaker, Ruben Sierra, Brett Saberhagen. There's Cal Ripken Jr., and Mickey Morandini and Ryan Sandberg. So a lot of big names out of that pack. So even though there's not a lot of value, that's a really good pack as far as Studio is concerned. All right, so now we go over to 92 Studio. Much the same thing, not a lot of value, but some cool photos and not large sets, so more likely to pull some stars in these. But we start off with Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly, Jose Lind, Mike Moore, Crime Dog Fred McGriff, Wally Joyner, Ken Hill, Franklin Stubbs, Juan Gonzalez, Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley, Tony Fernandez, Eric Hansen, and John Burkett. So not the greatest pack, but some pretty good names in there. All right, so the next two packs are packs that I really would love to say is high potential, but 99% certain that both of these boxes were searched. So we're going to go over to 1988 Don Russ. Still not sure why anybody would really want to search 88 Don Russ, because there's not much of value in the set, but somebody obviously did, because I haven't pulled anything of value almost all the way through the box. But we're going to start off with Andy Allenson, Tim Cruz, Dan Pasqua, Oil Can Boyd, Jay Aldrich, Frank Tanana, Jim Dwyer, Bob Sebra, John Pulowski, Bill Buckner, Dave Meads, Terry Pendleton, Chris James, Guy Hoffman, Lance McCullers, and John Smiley. So just like the rest of the box, nothing but commons and low-level stars. And then 86 Don Russ, which this is a highly sought-after set, and as soon as I opened it up, seeing the packs like this, I was almost certain it was opened, but was hopeful that I was wrong. But I'll go ahead and open it up anyway. And we have Tom Foley, Mike Davis Diamond Kings, Tim The Rock Raines, Dave Righetti, Stan Javier, Ed Lynch, Steve Yeager, Mike Scott, Charlie Huff, Jim Beattie, Harold Baines Diamond Kings, John Habian, rookie Rupert Jones, Larry Sheets, and Brett Saberhagen Diamond Kings. So now we're going to go over to a pack that is definitely not searched, because these packs have some major wax on them, but 1990 Don Russ. A lot of good rookies, just not a lot of value because they were massively overproduced. One of the cards I've always wanted is this particular card. There's an error variation where the line goes all the way through the star. Harold Baines. Sadly, it's not the error card that I've been trying to pull out of a pack all my life. We have Delano DeShields, Mackie Sasser, Jack Armstrong, Joey Cora, Atlee Hammaker, Rick Reed, Andy Neslick, who I feel like I've pulled this card out of every pack when I was opening them up back in 1990, Mark Grace, Sid Fernandez, Billy Swift, Pat Borders, Carmen Castillo, Ozzie Guillen Diamond Kings, Al Leiter second year, and Shane Raleigh. Actually, Al Leiter was 88 rookie, so that was actually his third year. All right, so now we're going to go over to 88 Topps, another massively overproduced set. There are some neat errors in here, which I have not pulled any of the cards out that have the errors yet to find out whether this is an error box or not. Not a lot of value, even with the errors. They're just a little unique here. We start off with Kelly Gruber, Terry McGriff, Jesse Barfield, Gary Redus, Jim Pankovitz, Doc Edwards, Bill Doran, Propaganda Piece, Greg Gross, Jim Morrison, Mickey Hatcher, Mike Campbell, Doug Jones, Jeff Stone, Sean Dunston, and Dave Henderson. So nothing of significance in that pack. Now we go over to 1990 Fleer. Again, a lot of really good rookies, just not a lot of value in this any 1990 set. And we start off with Willie Wilson and an A's sticker. Carlos Martinez, Pat Sheridan, Kurt Wilkerson, Chuck Finley, Tony Fernandez, Felix Jose, Kurt Ford, John Cerruti, Jose Lind, Gene Larkin, Jose Alvarez, Jeff Robinson, Eric Hansen, Joe McGrain, and Ellis Burke. So again, nothing significant in that pack. Our final pack in stack number 1 is 88 score. Some pretty good cards here. Caminiti rookie, Tom Glavine rookie. Greg Jeffries was the card that everybody wanted back in 88. Not much of a value anymore. We start off with Willie Wilson, Wally Joyner, Ricky Henderson, one of my all-time favorites since he grew up across the street from my mom, Bob Brindley, Lance Parrish, Dennis Boyd, Mickey Hatcher, John Candelaria, Bill Wegman, Mike Gallego, Mike Doon, Bob Sebra again, Jack Morris, Dale Murphy, Dwayne Murphy, Pat Perry, and Darnell Cole. So it's a pretty neat names, nothing of value. So stack number 1 is pretty much what we expected. Some pretty cool cards, but nothing of value. So as we move on to stack number 2, we're going to start off with 1990 Upper Deck, set that I pulled a lot of these packs opening up back in 1990, but a lot of really good rookies. Thought I had Gold Mine, but the packs just never seemed to end. They just mass-produced it so bad. And then the steroid era ruined a lot of the value of the rookie cards as well. We start off with Mike Moore, Ruben Sierra, Darren Dalton, Glenn Wilson, Chuck Krim, Gene Harris, Scott Sanderson, Carlos Baerga, who would have loved to have had that card back in 1990. We have a St. Louis Cardinals hologram, Sandy Alomar Jr. second year, Bob Guerin, Rob Deere, Brett Butler. There's a Ken Griffey Jr. team checklist, Benito Santiago team checklist, and Ozzie Guillen. Not a bad pack, not a great pack. Alright, so now we're going to go over to 1993 Upper Deck, Series 1. Looking for a Piazza second year card. Let's see what else we can pull out of here. And we start off with the X-Man Xavier Hernandez, Mike Timlin, Kerry Woodson, Kevin Tapani, who I was very high on. Thought he was going to be a lot better than he ended up being. Henry Rodriguez, Otis Nixon, Jose Lind, Chris Hammond, Junior Felix, Andy Van Slyke, Ozzie Guillen again, the George Brett then now hologram. I had forgotten that these were in here, so that's probably kind of cool. Don't think it's got much value, but still a kind of cool card. It's Willie Green, Rick Sutcliffe, and then the Indians Youthful Tribe. So a lot of good players that they had back in the early 90s. So that's not a bad little pack there. Alright, so now we're going to go over to Leaf for the next few packs here. We have 1991 and 1992, Series 1 and Series 2. Not a lot of value in the sets. Looking for some Gold Leaf rookies, primarily in 91, but seeing what we can pull out of here. We have Jody Reed, Dan Gladden, Greg Harris, Mike Greenwell, Randy Bush, Tony Pena, Eric Davis, Lee Smith, Hal Morris, Jose Oquendo, Chris Sabo, Chuck Carey, Joe Baver, Hector Villanueva, and Randy Reddy. In Series 2 is a gold rookie, but it's not a very valuable one. And so we'll go ahead and do it up front. We had Tim Costo. Then we have Bill Swift, Bud Black, Kevin Elster, who I could not stand back in the day, Craig Worthington, Mark Lewis, Eric Schau, Rafael Palmeiro, Blackjack McDowell, Wally Whitehurst, one of my least favorite players in Major League history, no fault of his own, Otis Nixon, Tim Wallach, Sean Abner, Chili Davis, and Scott Fletcher. And moving on to 92, Series 1. This one does have the black Leaf parallel set in here, so hopefully we'll get a nice parallel card here. We start off with Scott Fletcher. Our parallel card is Todd Benzinger, so nothing too great there. Jose Rijo, the legend himself, Nolan Ryan, Willie McGee, Pedro Munoz, Steve Avery, Vince Coleman, Gary DiSarcina, Carlos Hernandez, there's an Olerud, Mark Carrion, Greg Myers, Kevin Mitchell, and Chris Hammond. And Leafs Series 2, looking for Jeff Kent rookies. Would love to pull a Kent black parallel. We start off with Chris Gwynn. Our black parallel is none other than Jeff King. Bill Swift, Mark McLemore, Jim Flaherty, Dave Cochran, Dave Justice, Chad Kruder, Bernard Gilkey, Rick Sutcliffe, John McNamara, or Jim McNamara, not be confused as the old former Red Sox manager, but Jim McNamara, Mike Henneman, Lee Guterman, Craig Biggio, and Rafael Belliard. Still nothing of significance pulled yet. The 1989 score, one of my favorite sets. Not a lot of value in it, but it was one of my favorite sets the first year that I started collecting. And we start off with Ernie Witt, Vance Law, Cal Daniels, Ozzie Virgil, Jeff Reardon, Dan Plesac, Bruce Hurst, Joey Meyer, Alan Ashby, Bob Kipper, Jimmy Key, Todd Burns, Joe McGrain, Dennis Rasmussen, Steve Shields, and then the World Series card for the Dodgers and A's. Technically not the first year that I collected, but the first year that I was actually really trying to open up packs and collecting that way. 86 was the year that I actually first started collecting baseball cards, even though I knew nothing about baseball, which is kind of funny. But we start off with Rick Parker, John Tudor, Greg Olson, Sean Bosky, Carl Tuffy Rhodes, Darren Reed, who really wished he would have a good career. Got a chance. He was one of the first prospects I got a chance to watch in minor leagues. Paul Abbott, Rafael Navoa, Mickey Tettleton, Dave Valley, John Wetland, Edgar Martinez, Greg Cadaret, Jeff Robinson, John Smoltz, and Mark Gupza. So halfway through, nothing of significance other than the George Brett hologram, which really truly isn't anything of too significance. All right, so as we go to stack number 3, we're going to start off with 88 Fleer, looking for Edgar Martinez, rookie, also Glavin, Matt Williams, Caminiti, and a few others. And we start off with a Twins sticker, El Cid, Sid Fernandez, Rick Rhoden, Keith Hernandez, and Dale Murphy, 2 players who should be in the Hall of Fame, Roy Smalley, Keith Hughes, Julio Franco, Rob Murphy, Tony Fernandez, Cal Ripken, and Alan Trammell. Juan Augusto, John Marzano, Frank DePino, Dan Plesac, Terry Harper, Pat Perry, and Rick Russell. Then we go to 94 Collector's Choice Series 1. Honestly, been so long since I've opened up any of these packs, I've really forgotten what's in Series 1. We start off here. There's a Mike Piazza Rookie of the Year Top Performers. As a Piazza fan, that's a cool card. And then we have a Top Performers Randy Meyer Saves Leader. Paul Molitor, Alan Watson, Pete Incaviglia, Brett Saberhagen, Bob Royalt, Pedro Martinez, not the better Pedro, Eric Anthony, Jeff Gardner, Mickey Morandini, and Roberto Alomar Silver Signature. And now we have a couple 92 Score Series 1, actually Series 2. Here looking for Chipper Jones rookies, as well as the potential of finding the unlikely Mickey Mantle insert or insert autograph, which is one of my Holy Grail cards. And we start off with Brett Butler, Ken Howell, Mike Bielecki, Benny Santiago, George Brett, Sil Campusano, Ron Karkovice, Danny Heap, Robbie Beckett, Frank Viola, Cecil Fielder, Dave Stieb, Juan Augusto again, John Shelby, Calvin Schiraldi, and Darnell Coles. And in pack number 2, we start off with Mark Gardner, Bill Pecota, Mike Moore, Rick Rona, Kirby Puckett franchise, Roger Clemens franchise, Ken Griffey Sr., Glenn Davis, Tim Costo again, Doc Gooden, Randy Johnson, Lita Perez no-hitters, Chet Lemon, Eric Schau, Casey Kendall, and Jimmy Jones. So moving right through without much of significance here. And we're going to go over to 91 Upper Deck. I had bought this thinking it was the Find the Nolan, but it is Find the Hank. This is the highest number series. So there's no Michael Jordan SP1 potential, which is why I bought it, because I heard that SP1 has a higher chance in the jumbo packs. This does have an insert card of the Silver Slugger, which is only found in the jumbo packs. And the Silver Slugger card is Alan Trammell. Propaganda Piece, Mike McFarland, Chuck Carr, who was somebody I really loved watching play in the minors, Kevin Reimer, Bud Black, Jim Needlinger, Mike Devereaux, Corey Snyder, Mike Gardner, rookie. This does have American League holograms, supposed to be 2 holograms in here. We have Jeff Hewson, Sid Bream, Steve Farr. And we have Kent Merker, Roberto Kelly team checklist, another Mike Gardner, Sandy Alomar team checklist, Len Brucher, who I do not remember ever seeing him play in the majors, Tony Fernandez, Don Robinson, Danny Darwin, Stan Belinda, Tom Browning, Barry Jones, Tom Bolton, Carlos Quintana, Brad Arnsberg, and Gerald Clark. So as we continue on, we're just not finding much of anything in these packs tonight. So hopefully those high potential packs yield something big here. But now we have the cards with the SP1 Michael Jordan potential, as well as the Nolan Ryan inserts and autographs. And then there's also the Chipper Jones and Mike Mussina rookie potential in these packs. We're going to start off with Tom Browning, Dave Schmidt, Terry Shumpert, Lee Stevens, Kevin Tapani, Kevin Brown, Willie Randolph, Delino DeShields, Carlos Quintana, Fred Lynn, Sandy Alomar Jr., Dick Schofield, Cardinals hologram again. And that one is a Jack Morris team checklist. Looks like Glenn Davis and Damon Berryhill. So card gods are not being friendly tonight. So now we go to 1990 Score, one of my favorite all-time sets here, mostly because of the Bo Jackson football baseball card. Frank Thomas is in here, but I just really loved the set when I was opening them up here. There is a Sosa rookie on the back, so we are pulling a decent rookie, even though it's not a high value. We start off with Alan Trammell, Alvaro Espinosa, Andres Thomas, Jim Abbott, Dave Henderson, Scott Bryant, Oda B. McDowell, Terry Poole, Franklin Stubbs, Dale Mahoric, Craig Lefferts, Dan Petrie, Bo Diaz, Rick Leach, and the Sammy Sosa rookie. And in our final pack of stack number 3, we have 1990 Topps, looking for Frank Thomas, a lot of the other rookies, Gonzalez, Sosa, Olerud, a lot of, I'm not sure if Olerud made the base set or not, but really hoping for Frank Thomas, no name on front, which is the other Holy Grail card that everybody loves. And we start off with Jeff Hewson. There's Cal Ripken, All-Star, Louis Soho, Mark Williamson, Jeff Musselman, the Dreaded Checklist, Kevin Bass, Delino DeShields, The Propaganda Piece, Jim Corsi, Mike Heath, Greg Maddux, Gary Thurman, Dave Parker, Barry Lyons, Ken Daly, and Bob Guerin. All right, so now that we have the low potential, which yielded virtually nothing tonight, we are now going to the higher potential packs here. So hopefully we'll pull at least something, at least one good card tonight. All right, so now we're going to go over to 1990 Leaf, Series 1, looking for Sosa rookies again, as well as Ken Griffey Jr. second-year card, and then a few other nice rookies and stars. We start off with the Dreaded Checklist, Kevin McReynolds, Matt Noakes, Spike Owen, Joey Bell, would have been a hot card back in the day, Kurt Gibson, Robin Ventura, second year, Bill Doran, Mark Langston, Randy Myers, Mike Greenwell, Mark Grace, Cal Ripken Jr., Jeff Blauser, George Bell, and Steve Buechele. So none of the really high value cards, but some nice cards in here. Alright, so now we're going to go over to 1991 Bowman. A lot of good rookies in here. They seem to be pretty hard to pull, but hopefully we'll pull something nice out here. I did finally pull a Jim Thome out of here, which was the third box I'd opened without pulling any. So as I got close to the end of this box, I did finally pull one last time. But we have Don Robinson, Willie Frazier, Jack Doherty, Brian Harper, Cecil Fielder, Harold Baines, Jody Reed, John Franco, Terry Mulholland, Willie Ansley, Patrick Lennon, Brady Anderson, Greg Olson the catcher, and Cal Ripken Jr. So pretty decent cards, but none of the great rookies. So now we go to 1989 for the next couple packs here. We have 1989 Bowman. A lot of good rookies in here. Smoltz, Biggio, Randy Johnson. Mainly the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie is the one that everybody wants. A lot of good rookies in this set. And we start off with a Satchel Paige reprint card. Jerry Royce. Jay Bell, or Tim Belcher. I knew that wasn't Jay Bell. Harold Baines, The Dreaded Checklist, Don Carmen, Kurt Stillwell, the man, the legend, the Myth, Nolan Ryan, Cameron Drew, Julio Franco, Lloyd McClendon, Dave Wainhouse, and Drew Hall. And the packs that I love to hate, 1989 Don Russ. Really hoping to pull a Griffey because I have not pulled a Griffey in like 3 boxes. Right off the bat, there is a Curt Schilling rookie in here. Makes the odds of getting a Griffey very low, but at least we're getting something. Unfortunately, he did get the wax damage too. We have Matt Williams, the Warren Spahn puzzle picture image. Greg Olson, rookie. Scott May, Alvin Davis, Nelson Liriano, Lance Blankenship, Tim Launder, Scott Jordan, Mike Devereaux, Hippolito Pena, Todd Froworth, Spike Owen, Ozzie Guillen, and the Kurt Stillwell horribly cut card, or Curt Schilling. So now we get to the packs where hopefully I'll get something good here. We have an 89 Fleer. If you watch my rips, you know that these are error packs. There is the Bill Ripken error potential in here. So if there's a Bill Ripken, it is the error card, the F-face variation. Randy Johnson doesn't seem to be the high value variation in this one here. And then there's also the Griffey rookie. We have 87 Fleer and 287 Don Russ. Looking for a lot of the same cards. Bo Jackson is the big card I'm looking for all of these, but then also there's Greg Maddux, McGuire, Larkin, Will Clark, Greg Maddux. A lot of good players in these packs here. So I'm going to save this one for last. Normally I open this up now, but I'm going to save it for last here. I'm going to go ahead and open up 87 Fleer. We start off with the Expos and Orioles stickers. Willie Hernandez, John Denny, Buck Martinez, Jim Acker, Tom Hume, there's a George Brett, Lenny Dykstra, Steve Lake, Mike Mason, Joe Hesketh, Brooks Jacoby, Tim Raines, Gary Lucas, Rance Mulliniks, Ed Vandenberg, Tony Fernandez, and Mike Scioscia. And then 87 Don Russ here. I have pulled a Bonds, which is another rookie that I didn't mention here. Bonds, Bo Jackson, and Maddux in the same packs. I'd love to pull something similar to that in here. Very odd piece of a card edge. Looks like it came off of possibly this card. Maybe not. I don't know. That's weird. I've never seen that before. But we have Vance Law, Rick Sutcliffe, John Candelaria, Ben Ogilvy, Eric Shaw again, Cliff Johnson, Ed Lynch, Greg Harris, Juan Castillo. There's a Strawberry. That's a cool card for me. I'm going to pull this out even though it's not high value. Barry Jones, Ruben Sierra, Rafael Ramirez, and Gary Carter the Kid. Pull that aside too, even though it's not a valuable card. And in pack number 2 of 87 Don Russ, we start off with Joe Cowley, who I've never seen that card before, Dave Bergman, Juan Samuel, Howard Johnson, so that band pull that one too, Bill Swift, Rich Dodson, Eric King, Sean Dunston, Jack Morris Diamond King, Lee Lacy, Bob Walk, Mike Moore, Danny Cox, Joe Sambito, and Nick Osaski. So my only hope of pulling out something of value tonight is going to be 89 Fleer. I'd love to pull a Bill Ripken Air. It's been a while since I pulled one. Let's see what we can find here. We start off with an Orioles sticker, so maybe that's a sign of a Ripken. Probably not now that I see Ramon Martinez, since I don't remember seeing the Ripkens in here. That would have been an awesome card to pull in 89, not so much now. Pete Staniszek, Kevin Bass, Storm Davis, Marvell Wynn, Don Slaught, Kent Tukulve, Would not be a vintage baseball card pack opening without the creepy glasses of Kent Tekulve. Cecil Espy, Charlie Palaio, Chris Sabo, Bobby Bonilla, Luis Alicea, Brad Havens, Dwight Gooden, loved that card growing up, love that picture. Tom Niedenfer, and Odell Jones. So not the most profitable night opening packs. Always fun opening packs, even if you don't pull anything big. So appreciate you dropping by. Hopefully next time we'll pull something bigger here, but appreciate you stopping in and hope to see you soon. If you'd like this content, please like and subscribe for more content in the future so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. But thank you for stopping in again, and hope everybody has a great night.